Hari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Ashtotarita Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Ashtotarita Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnavini Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Okay, give me a second here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. On this 22nd day of October in 2025 in San Diego, we're reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we are in chapter 11, the Universal Form. Text 16 at the bottom of page 469. Aneka Bahudara Bhaktra Netram Pashyami Tvam Sarvato Anantarupam Nantam Namadhyam Napunas Tavadhim Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa Aneka Bahu Dadavaktra Netram. Okay, I'm going to let... you have it? Aneka bahu dadavaktra netam Pashyami tvam sarvato nanto rupam Nantang namadyang napunastavadim Pashyami vishveshada vishvarupa. Got it? Text 16? Yeah. Okay. Aneka bahu dadavaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato nanto rupam Nantang namadyang napunastavadim Pashyami vishveshada vishvarupa Aneka bahu dadavaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato nanto rupam Nantang namadyang napunastavadim Pashyami vishveshada vishvarupa. No. Aneka bahuda. Start lower. Aneka bahuda. Aneka bahuda dadavaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato nanto rupam. Now high. Yeah, go ahead. Nantam. Nantang namadyang napunastavadim Pashyami vishveshada vishvarupa. Aneka bahu dadavaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato nanto rupam Nantang namadyang napunastavadim Pashyami vishveshada vishvarupa. Anyone online? Okay. Aneka, many, bahu, arms, udara, bellies, vaktra, mouths, netram, eyes, pashyami, I see, tvam, you, sarvataha, on all sides, anantarupam, unlimited forms, na antam, no end, na madhyam, no middle, na punaha, no, nor again, tava, your adim, beginning. Pashyami, I see, Vishva Ishvara, O Lord of the universe, Vishvarupa, in the form of the universe. Arjuna says to Krishna, O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere, without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Purport. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is unlimited. Thus, through him, everything could be seen. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, but my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisance unto him and all members of Sri Parampara. Three disciplic succession. So this is probably the shortest purport in the book, so I don't know what I can say about it. So Arjuna is describing for us, and again this word aneka comes up again and again here. It appears that many, unlimited, not one but many. Okay. All right, let's go on. Kiritanam gadinam chakrinam cha Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deepti Mantam Pashyami Tvam Durniriksham Samantad Deeptan Halarka Dutamaprameyam. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. Tamaksharam padamam veditavyam Tramasya vishwasya padam nidhanam Tramavyak shasvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintenance of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. Anani manyantamananta viryam Ananta bahum shachisuya netram Pashyami tvam deeptu hutasha vaktram Swatejasa vishramidam tapantam. You are without origin, middle or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Purport. There is no limit to the extent of the 6 opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here and in many other places there is repetition, but according to the scriptures, repetition of the glories of Krishna is not a literary weakness. It is said that at a time of bewilderment or wonder or of great ecstasy, statements are repeated over and over. This is not a flaw. Okay, now for extra credit, what are the 6 opulences of Krishna? Or what are some of them anyway?
Fortune, beauty, renunciation, wealth, did I say?
Yeah, well you said fortune. Okay, that's 4 out of 6. How about strength? Okay, I should some of the beauty is yes, you said. Shriya, did you say beauty?
Yes.
You said beauty. And okay, then there's strength and renunciation. I think we got 6. Aishwarasya, that's opulence, that's wealth. Viryasa, that's strength. Yashas is fame, and Shriya is beauty. Knowledge, Jnana Vairagya, yeah, knowledge, and renunciation. Just to make a little point here, renunciation. There's a very strong distinction made between Tyaga and Vairagya in the 18th chapter. Tyaga is literally renunciation. You renounce something, no more. It's gone. I'm leaving this beside. No more illicit sex. Finished. Vairagya means you're not detachment. Now, detachment is actually much more important because renunciation, you can leave something, but you're still attached to it, and that attachment will bring you back to another body. You see what I'm saying? It's the attachment, the subtle attachment, that is really the binding force. So, and then that's the word that's used, vairagya. Vairagya literally means no raga, no attachment, you see? So here's the verse, Aishwarasya samagrasya viryasya yashashakshya jnana vairagyayashchaiva shunnam bhagaitingana. So Prabhupada always says renunciation, and here he means detachment. Because Krishna, he has 16,108 queens and 16,108 palaces, all bedecked with jewels and ivory, and the opulences, so how is he renounced? He's not renounced in that sense. But in a very important way, he's detached from the whole thing, and just like the gopis, he was with them and had all of it, but then he left. He was able to leave because he was detached.
For Vairagya would be also a good translation saying transcending, like you're transcending an object, or there's a distinction.
Yeah, it can be implied. I mean, if you're transcendental, then one meaning is that you're not affected by it. You can, but when you talk about attachment, and there's what is it? attachment and aversion. The opposite of attachment is aversion. It's not detachment. Detachment we want. We try to rise and become transcendental all attachment and aversion. You see, so that we're dhira. This is an ideal. It's mentioned in the beginning of the second chapter. This word dhira, you know. But we don't want to, we don't want to give up detachment. Detachment is the state that we want to attain. So although it sounds like an opposite, attachment, detachment is not. One is wanting something, and the opposite is hating that thing. Not so much that I can take it or leave it. You see what I'm saying? So that's important distinction. It comes up sometimes. Okay, so did we do 17?
I think so.
No, we can always do it again. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha Tejo rashim sarvato diptimantam Pashyami tvang duniriksham samantad Deepdana larka dutamaprameyam. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. Okay. Tvamakshadam padamam veditavyam Tvamasya vishwasya padam nidhanam Tvamavyak shastrata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho matome. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. I think we may have done this, but anyway. Anani madhyantam ananta viryam Ananta bahum shachisurya netram Pashyami tvam deepta hutasha bhaktram Satejasa visham ananta idam tapantam. Okay, we definitely did this one again. 20. Dhyava pativyo idamantaram hi. Dhyav. 20. Got it? Dhyava pativyo idamantaram hi. Now go. Okay. Give me a second here. Vyaptam tvayhaikena dishasta sarvaha Dristvadvatam rupamugram tavedam Lokatrayam pyam yatitam mahatman. Now I know why hardly anyone came today, because they knew these verses were coming. They didn't want to be embarrassed not being able to chant them. The brave, the brave few have come to have a go at it. Yeah, they're not easy. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Purport: Dhyav apativyo, the space between heaven and earth, and Lokatrayam, the three worlds, are significant words in this verse because it appears that not only did Arjuna see this universal form of the Lord, but others in other planetary systems saw it also. Arjuna's seeing of the universal form was not a dream. All whom the Lord endowed with a divine vision saw that universal form on the battlefield. Amihi tvam sura sangha vishanti Kechid bita pranjalayo grananti Swastit yuktva maharshi siddha sangha Stubanti tvam studibi pushkalabhi. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, "All peace," are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. Purport: the demigods and all the planetary systems feared the terrific manifestation of the universal form and its glaring effulgence, and so prayed for protection. Rudraditya vasavoye cha sadhya. Okay, welcome. We are on page 473, in the middle of the universal form. Yeah, 22, bottom of 473. I'll let him get it. We need all the voices we can, so I'm going to let him get it. Okay. Rudraditya vasavoye cha sadhya Vishveshvinao marutas choshmapascha Gandhava yaksha sura siddha sangha Vikshante tvam vishmitas chayava sarve. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishvedevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. Wow, quite a group. Okay. Rupam mahate mohavaktra netram Mahabaho bahubahurubhadam Bahudadam bahudangstrakaralam Drishtva loka prabhyatitarstataham. Almighty Armed One, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. Okay, hold on. Padam actually is feet. Eyes, arms, thighs, and feet. Nabaspisham deeptam aneka varnam Vyatananam deepta fashala netram Drishtva hi tvam pyam yatitantaratma Dhritim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Okay, just a few more. I know it's quite a marathon here. Of all-pervading Vishnu, as I see you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. Dangstra karala nichate mukhani Dristvaiva kala nanasannibhani Disho najane nalabhe cha sarma Prasida devesha jagannivasa. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth in all directions. I am bewildered. Amicha tvam Dhritarashtrasya putra Sarve sahaiva vanipala sanghai Bhishmo Drona Suta Putras Tataso Sahasmayiya Abhiyoda Mukyai Bhaktani Te Tradamana Vishanti Dangstra karalani bayanakani Kechin vilagna dasanantareshu Sandrishyante churnita uttamangai. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Kṛṣṇa, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths, and some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. Hare Krishna. Purport. In the previous verse, the Lord promised to show Arjuna things he would be very interested in seeing. Now Arjuna sees that the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Kṛṣṇa, and all the sons of Dhritarashtra, and their soldiers and Arjuna's own soldiers are all being annihilated. This is an indication that after the death of nearly all the persons assembled at Kurukshetra, Arjuna will emerge victorious. It is also mentioned here that Bhishma, who is supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Kṛṣṇa. Not only will the great warriors of the other party like Bhishma be smashed, but some of the great warriors of Arjuna's side also. Yata nadinam bahavom bhuvega samudrameva vimukha dravanti tatatavami nanaloka vira vishanti bhaktran yabhivijvalanti. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter into your blazing mouths. Yata pradiptam jwalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samriddha vega tataiva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi bhaktrani samriddha vega. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in the blazing fire. Okay, now where is that verse? Okay, starting in 36, Arjuna has more prayers. Okay. All right, so we're on 30. Here we go. Leili hase gusamana samantal Lokan samagran vadanardraladbhi Tejo badapuya jagat samagram Vasas tavogra patapanti Vishnu. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible, scorching rays. Akyahime ko bhavan ugra rupo. Namostute deva vara prasida. Vigyatamichami bhavantamadhyam. Nahi pajanami tava pravittam. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. And then here comes the most famous verse in the chapter. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Loka Chayakrit Pravidho Lokan Samahartamiha Pravittaha Rite Pitvam Nabhavishyanti Sarve Ye Vastita Pratyanikeshu Ye Vastita Pratyanikeshu Yodha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of all the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Purport. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of the devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the Supreme Truth destroys everything, even the Brahmins. As stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.25, Yasya Brahma Chachatram Cha Ubhe Bhavata Odanaha Mrityur Yasyopasechanam Mrityur Yasyopasechanam Ka Ita Vedayattasaha. Eventually, all the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is the all-devouring giant, and here Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Okay. So now he's telling Arjuna, get up. Tasmat tamushtita yasho labasva. Jitva shatrun bunksha rajam samriddham. Maya vaite nihita purvameva. Namitta matram babasavya sachin. Now, just to let you know, that last line is often quoted on its own. It just means, just become my agent. So, therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Purport. Sabyasachi refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill the enemies. Quote, just become an instrument, nimitta matram. This word is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Foolish persons who do not have sufficient knowledge think that nature is moving without a plan, and all manifestations are but accidental formations. There are many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that, but there is no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have the domineering mentality which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestation are under the superior guidance of God. Thus the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he should fight in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to the Lord's transcendental service, he is perfect. 34. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadvatam cha karnam tathanyam apiyodha viran maya hatang tvam jahima vyatishta Yudyasvajeta sirane sapatnam. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Kṛṣṇa, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Purport. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by his mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. So this is quite a climax in one sense, even before the battle begins. And because Arjuna is seeing what the end point is going to be. He's seeing that everyone's going to be destroyed. So what's the point of him going from the battlefield? They're all going to die anyway. But if he takes part in the battle and he's situated in devotional service, then he'll be exalted and he'll get all the mercy of the Lord. So you can see it's a different mood to the rest of the Gita. You know, Krishna is appearing in a form that Arjuna is awed by and he's frightened by, and he's unlike the other chapters. But this is the point, is that Krishna has his plan, and if we can find out what it is and try to help him succeed in that plan, then that'll be the perfection of our lives. Right now, we have our own plans, that we have our little false ego plans. But the kalos miloka chaika bhavido. The time is going to destroy all of our plans, and we just keep going round and around, suffering birth, old age, disease, and death. So this is quite dramatic, and it's a certain scene that we see here that is meant to put us in awe, just like Arjuna's awe, and to see that it will really be to our advantage to dovetail our activities and our desires with Krishna, so that we don't have to face the all-frightening universal form and be terrified, but we'll feel that he's an ally. Okay, so let's go on here. And there's one verse that's coming up here in the next verses that Arjuna chants. That was one of the first verses I ever memorized. Page 485. Sanjaya Uvacha Etachudva vachanam keshavasya Kvatanjali vepamana kiriti Namaskritva bhuya evaha Krishnam Sagadgadam bita bita pranamya. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, "O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows." Purport. As we have already explained, because of the situation created by the universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna became bewildered in wonder. Thus he began to offer his respectful obeisances to the Krishna again and again, and with faltering voice he began to pray, not as a friend, but as a devotee in wonder. Okay. 36. Arjuna Vacha Stane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Parishyat Anurajyatecha Rakshansi Bitani Rakshani Bitani Disho Dhavanti Rakshansi Bitani Sarve Namasyanti Cha Siddha Sangaha. Arjuna said, "O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done." Purport. Arjuna, after hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle of Kurukshetra, became enlightened, and as a great devotee and friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said that everything done by Krishna is quite fit. Arjuna confirmed that Krishna is the maintainer and the object of worship for the devotees and the destroyer of the undesirables. His actions are equally good for all. Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded, in outer space there were present many demigods, siddhas, and the intelligentsia of the higher planets, and they were observing the fight because Krishna was present there. When Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it. But others, who were demons and atheists, could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. Krishna's treatment of the devotees and the atheists is praised by Arjuna. In all cases, the devotee glorifies the Lord because he knows that whatever he does is good for all. Now, there's a bit of a little problem with the chronology here, because Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded, it hasn't begun yet. Right? I mean, this is all preliminary. So I think that was understood, that when the battle of the Kurukshetra would be concluded, in outer space there would be present, something like that. I think we adjusted that. Okay, now Arjuna is continuing his prayers here. And we're coming up on text 38. This is the verse that I memorized. I'll tell you why. Kṛṣṇa chate nanameran mahatman gadi se brahmanopyadi kartre ananta devesha vagannivasa tvamakshadam sadasat tatparam yat. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Purport. By this offering of obeisances, Arjuna indicates that Krishna is worshipable by everyone. He, Krishna, is all-pervading, and he is the soul of every soul. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Mahatma, which means that he is most magnanimous and unlimited. Ananta indicates that there is nothing which is not covered by the influence and energy of the Supreme Lord. And Devesha means that he is the controller of all the demigods and is above them all. He is the shelter of the whole universe. Arjuna also thought that it was fitting that all the perfect living entities and powerful demigods offer their respectful obeisances unto him, because no one is greater than him. Arjuna especially mentions that Krishna is greater than Brahma because Brahma is created by him. Brahma is born out of the lotus stem grown from the navel in the abdomen of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who is Krishna's plenary expansion. Therefore, Brahma and Lord Shiva, who is born of Brahma, and all other demigods must offer their respectful obeisances. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that the Lord is respected by Lord Shiva and Brahma and similar other demigods. The word Aksharam is very significant because this material creation is subject to destruction, but the Lord is above this material creation. He is the cause of all causes, and being so, he is superior to all the conditioned souls within this material nature, as well as the material cosmic manifestation itself. He is therefore the all-great supreme. So Aksharam means indestructible, imperishable, yes. And here it is. So this verse, just before we chant it, I was a follower of the Ramakrishna mission before I joined Hare Krishna. And there was one fellow who had taken over from Nikhilananda, who was older. Prabhupada met him. And he had been there for years. And he had, by the time I arrived in 72, Prabhupada probably met him in 66, 65 even. He had had a stroke. So his replacement had come. And he had practiced yoga in the Himalayas, and he had some mystic powers. I had just met him. I was in his room, and he said, "You work in a hospital, don't you?" "Yes." "How did you know that?" He's reading my mind. So, and then he would give very nice lectures on the Bhagavad Gita. And he would always begin with this verse. And the reason was because Tvaya tatam vishwam ananta rupam means the whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. That's the Brahman, because it's impersonal. They're impersonalists there. So this is, it's anyway. I remember, when I read this, every time I read this verse, I visualize myself walking back to the temple, getting up from the subway and chanting this verse that I just memorized in Brooklyn. Okay. Tvamadi deva purushak puranas Tvamasya vishwasya parang nidhanam Vetashi vejang cha parang cha dhama Tvayatatam vishwamananta rupa. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Purport. Everything is resting on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is the ultimate rest. Nidhanam means that everything, even the Brahman effulgence, rests on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is the knower of everything that is happening in this world, and if knowledge has any end, he is the end of all knowledge. Therefore, he is the known and the knowable. He is the object of knowledge because he is all-pervading. Because he is the cause of the spiritual world, he is transcendental. He is also the chief personality in the transcendental world. So this is like I'm meeting an old friend. Okay, going on. Vayur Yamognir Vadunak Shashanka Prajapatishtvam Prapitamahascha Namo Namaste tu Sahaksha Kritva Punashta Bhuyo Pinamo Namaste. You are air, and you are the Supreme Controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great-grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisance unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. Purport. The Lord is addressed here as air, because the air is the most important representation of all the demigods, being all-pervasive. Arjuna also addresses Krishna as the great-grandfather because he is the father of Brahma, the first living creature in the universe. Namak parastad ataprishtataste Namostate sarvata eva sarva Anantaviryamita vikramastvam Sarvam samapnoshi tatosa sarvaha. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything. Purport. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend, Arjuna is offering his respects from all sides. He is accepting that he is the master of all potencies and all prowess, and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana 1969, Yoyam tabhagato deva samipam devataganaha sattvam eva jagathrashta yatak sarvagato bhavan. Whoever comes before you, even if he be a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one thing, just mentioning about our chanting of these verses. So these are not the easiest verses, and therefore there's been a few irregularities in the chanting. I want to let you know that. But there's a nice verse about this kind of chanting, where it says, Murko vadadi Vishnaya. Dhira, meaning a Brahman, Dhira vadadi Vishnave. I forget the Sanskrit for the rest, but it says, but they both get the same result, because Bhava Grahi Janardanaha. You may have heard Bhajanaran quote this, Bhajanaran Maharaj. So Bhava Grahi Janardana, so the whole verse is that a murka, a fool, an uneducated person, he will address Vishnaya, because the usual vocative form. It's like some Chad, Antonella. You know, you're investing in someone. That's vocative. So in Sanskrit, it's this Vishnaya. We have it every day when you chant. If you bow, if you offer obeisance to Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale. All that Aya means unto you, unto you, unto you. You see, it's second person. But Vishnu is an irregular form. So it's not Vishnaya, but it's Vishnave. You see? That's the proper thing. So an uneducated person, but he'll sincerely offer his prayers to Vishnaya. But a wise, an educated Brahmin will say, Vishnave. But they both get the same result. Because Krishna is looking for the mood. He's looking for the bhava, and he accepts that. Janardana accepts the bhava. So I'm just thinking that as we're struggling through these verses, because they're a little difficult. Yes, please.
It's a quick curiosity. I mean, these verses are pretty difficult. So, I mean, the topic of this chapter is pretty scary. There's always And is it maybe that also the verses are kind of reflecting the mood of this scare? I mean, I call it scary. You know what I mean? They're like pretty intense. And so maybe
I guess if you're struggling through chanting it can be pretty scary because you might make a mistake.
Right.
So in that sense, but really, this is the, how should I put it? There's a great art in the Sanskrit, and you really find it to perfection in the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam begins with two big verses that are very important. It says, Janma Jasya Yaton. The first syllables of the Bhagavatam are very important because they echo the Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra, Veda Anta, means the ultimate knowledge. The summary of all, spiritual knowledge is there in the Vedanta Sutra. And so, the second sutra, the first sutra says, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. That's the whole sutra. It's an aphorism, though it needs interpretation. So it means, now then, having come to the human form of life, you should inquire into Brahman. Well, what is that Brahman? Second sutra. Janma Yasya Yataha. The Brahman is that which has given birth, or is the source of everything, and also the word Adi is in there. Janmadi Asya. Adi means etc. So what comes after birth? Maintenance, right? And then ultimately destruction. So that's creation, maintenance, destruction. So the ultimate creator, maintenance, destroyer is Krishna himself. He deputes Brahma to do the creation and Shiva to do the destroying, but he empowers them to do that. So that's the beginning of the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam begins with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and the next words are Janma Yasya Yataha. But it goes on and explains in detail, Janma Yasya Yaton Vayata Tatatachtarteshva Bigdhyasa, and it's describing Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then the next, it's a very important verse. Prabhupada told us that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he lectured for like 2 months on that one verse. It's so rich, there's so much in there, Then the next verse talks about what Bhagavatam, begins with what Bhagavatam isn't. Dharma projita kaita votra. This book kicks out all cheating dharmas. It's meant to present to you the ultimate dharma and the result of practicing it. So it goes on like that. But then the third verse is one of these jazzy verses, Nagamakapatado galitam palam shakamakadamitam drapasamyatam pibata bhagavatam samalayam mohodahoda sikabhuvibhavuka. So this is, he's saying Nigama, the Vedic literature, it's like a desire tree. If you want to learn medicine, you can study Ayurveda. You want to learn astrology, you can study Jyotirveda. You want to become a fighter, you can study Dhanurveda. You want to go to heaven, you can study the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. So, but if you want to go back to Godhead, if you want to get the ultimate truth, then you study Vedanta Sutra and its proper commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. And throughout the Bhagavatam, there's two kinds of verses metrically in the Bhagavad Gita. We've been struggling through these, but we see that in the second chapter also, the Jayate Mriyate Bhakadachanaiva. But Bhagavatam has all varied meters, the songs of the gopis, Vama Baha Katabama Kaporo Valgita Baladapata Venam. Find that in the Bhagavad Gita. So it's very rich, and these verses here are, of course, the idea is that they're fit for very weighty material, which we're seeing here, and beautiful prayers that we just. Okay, so it's getting a little late, so let me give you a few poems, and maybe to kind of soften the atmosphere because it's pretty scary, Let me put this. So did we do? 41, 42. Okay, we'll do that Monday. All right. So, prayers. These are all a lot of prayers, right? And there's some very nice prayers. So this is actually a song. I don't know if I'll have time to do the whole thing, but the refrain of the song is Krishna Bhavandam Vande Manmanasamadakadama Payanita Patapankatamakadande. It's actually written as a song. These are part of the songs of the Stavamala. And what it says is, "O Krishna, I bow down to you, lotus feet. Krishna Bhavandam Vande Manmanasamadakadama Payanita Patapankatamakadande." O Krishna, dearest Lord, I bow to you, and then entreat Please place the bee of my restless mind in the honey of your lotus feet. So that keeps coming back to that. And then he says, Yadapi samadhi shabidadapi pashyati nanaka maricham. Said even Brahma deep in trance cannot achieve his goal, a glimpse of your effulgent toenails, soothing to the soul. Yet though it seems impossible to ever feel this need, but because I've seen I'm aware of your compassion's endless waves, that very vision is the only boon my poor heart craves. Sorry, I'm forgetting the English now. But then the next verse, O Madhava, despite great effort, I have not attained a drop of pure devotion. This has brought me endless pain. Yet though it seems impossible to ever feel this need, your monumental power gives me hope I shall succeed. So it goes like that. And then, of course, Queen Kunti's prayers, one of my favorite all-time prayers. Tvaime hinan nivishayamati madhupate sakrit vatamun vahadaradha gange baugumadhanvati. O Madhava, please ever fill my mind with thoughts of thee, not any other kind. As Ganges' torrent flows into the sea, let all my love flow constantly to thee. Anyone can pray like that. Radha Giridhari. Okay, so we'll adjourn and get ready for Kirtan. Thank you for listening. Those who are local and those who are remote. Thank you too. I know you're out there. And thank you for your heroic attempts to chant the mantras. Krishna saw the Baba. He just accepted Baba Chanar.